sports fans, this is Robert with WTP Sports Dudes here live this morning on this fine, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. I'm here with my man FanDuel Zaya of the FanDuel Zaya podcast, also WTP Sports Dudes, here this morning for Speaking Sports Sunday. How you feeling on this Father's Day, my brother?
Man, I'm good, man. I want to say Happy Father's Day to everybody out there too. Um, yeah, man, this is an important day, man. If you in your kids' lives, you're doing with everything you can, man. Great job. If you're not there, man, it's not too late. Try to build a relationship with them kids. They need us.
For sure, for sure, for sure. Like he said, it is never, ever too late to get in your children's lives and make a difference right now. So if you're out there, happy Father's Day to you, as we said earlier. And we're glad to see you here tuning in with us today. Make sure you like, subscribe, share our videos, and do everything you can to help promote us in a good way. We appreciate you out there. Thank you for tuning in. Man, I don't know if you've been watching the WNBA and the NBA and what's been going on in NFL news and college football news, but it's a lot going on in all those sports. Just think if we was hitting on basketball and hockey is playing in their playoffs right now, man, it would be too much stuff for us to be able to handle with the small amount of time we got, bro.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I know the Stanley Cup was on last night.
Yeah. I used to follow hockey a little bit when I was in high school just to, watch Wayne Gretzky. So he was hot back then. So I would watch a little bit then, but not so much now. My life is just too busy. Too busy. Let's talk a little bit of NBA first to get the show rolling. Game 5 of the NBA Finals tomorrow in OKC. Does the winner win this series and claim the NBA title, or will it go 7 games? Or will it go 7 games regardless of who wins Game 5? So two
Yeah,
questions there.
yeah. So OKC. I think they get the win tomorrow, for sure. Um, I definitely think this is going to a game 7. I don't see OKC winning 2 games in Indiana in a row. Um, but anything can happen in a game 7. At the beginning of all this, I said my mind was telling me Indiana, but my heart was like, OKC gonna win this. So, man, I'm still hoping and praying though that Indiana can get this done, man. Just because I'm rooting for Halle Burton. What the hell going on? You know what I mean? So I want them to win so bad, man. I just don't think he warranted all that disrespect that he got, So I want to see him. I want to see him be able to pull it off, so he could be like, listen, Luka Doncic, uh, SGA, Kyrie Irving, Trey Young. I'm better than all you guys. Like, not in totality, but for this season, he will be able to say, man, I went through all y'all guys. I went through this playoffs like it wasn't nothing. So I feel like he'll be able to claim the throne for at least this year. You know what I'm saying? And I want to see that. So, but man, SGA looked like he on a tear. He looked like he finally like settled into the series. He did have 2 monster games, but I thought it kind of was turning on that game 3. But man, I just don't see no way they about to stop him for real. I don't think they can stop him 2 more times. So I'm gonna have to roll with OKC in that game 7. And once we do eventually get to that, if we do eventually get to that point. But I do hope it goes to 7 games because we wasn't even up for the series at the beginning anyway. Nobody really wanted to see this finals. That's first. But now that we here and it's been entertaining as it has as much as it's been entertaining, you want to see it go to the maximum distance now.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I want to see it go 7 games as well. And I think that OKC will win this next game, maybe, almost. possibly. It's so tricky between these two teams, man, because you think that when their backs against the wall, the team whose back is against the wall wins the game.
Right.
So I'm thinking that whoever win this next one, of course, the other one's back is going to be against the wall. They going to win it, and then they're going to push it to a game seven. But I think whoever wins to this game tomorrow will eventually win the finals. Even though if OKC loses, I still think that they got a better chance of winning it and winning two in a row than Indiana. But I could be wrong because Indiana is a really gritty team. So I think OKC is going to win it and ultimately win Game Seven and win the series. But I hope it goes 7 games because it, it, it needs to. It needs to for the NBA. It needs to. Who's your Finals MVP at this point, and is it even close?
Uh, it's not. I mean, if the Thunder win, there's no way you cannot give it to Shea. I'm just saying, like he averaging over 30, 5 rebounds, 6.5 assists. Like, I mean, we know the stats is different in this NBA with the rule changes and no hand checking and all that. But like from a number standpoint, this got to be one of the greatest performances that we seen. So, uh, yeah, there's no way we're gonna see anybody else win, especially if OKC pulls it out. Now the Pacers, it's still 2 full games to go, so it's kind of a toss up still on the Pacers side. Um, it just depends on if they was to win this series, who was going to be the key cog to kind of lead them to pull this upset. Because the way I see it is like we got to think of the time when Iguodala won the Finals MVP over Curry and Klay Thompson, and he wasn't averaging nearly the numbers that those guys was averaging, but his defense was so pivotal in that series. They could not give it to. They could not give it to him. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
it's still a lot of room on the Pacer side for somebody to pull off winning that Finals MVP. So it's kind of more of a toss up for me.
Yeah, I would say SGA if they, of course, if they win it. I remember watching the series what is talking about the Olympics and basketball on Netflix, and SGA and Canada was in there, and it being his time to carry the country, in that Olympics, and how well he played and helped them throughout that tournament. Even though they didn't win it, they made it to I think the final four countries. So I'm glad to see him carry that on to to this season and really do what he's doing right now, leading his team to the NBA Finals. I would give him the MVP at this point because he's been their best player throughout the whole entire season. There's no reason to pass him up if he's still balling in the playoffs like he is doing now. As far as Indiana is concerned, I mean Halliburton has been hitting all the big shots, but is he the only reason why they're this far in this finals? And that's not the case. He got a team full of guys who are helping him make this thing happen for the Indiana Pacers. So it would definitely be a toss up or a close one on that side if Indiana was to win it all and you had to pick an MVP from the Pacers. But as far as the OKC, it's to me it's hands down SGA. Will both of these teams be able to keep their teams intact, or will they move and add pieces?
Um, so OKC, Chet's contract is up this summer. They got to re-sign him, and or it's either this summer or next summer. Jalen Williams, his contract is up this summer, so they got to re-sign him. Now it's going to always be if the owner want to pay that apron, that second apron, but everybody else they're locked in. So I mean, I could see. I could see them paying them two guys because them are two core guys. You want to keep Chet, you want to keep Jalen Williams, and you want to keep really Shea Gilgis Alexander. Them is your three main guys you want to keep down the road as your core. Other guys, they're more role players. Like you can find Caruso's around the league. I'm not saying like it's just that easy, but and you're gonna find somebody that's so high level like him. But just to rewind back, when we won the bubble championship, we had Contavious Caldwell Pope. He's like the same type of player like a Caruso. And you know, when he went to Denver and he left Denver, Denver had a hard time replacing him. It is definitely hard finding guys like that. But you got to keep your three like overall best players locked in and try to fill in them other guys. Because all them other guys, now that they're in the finals, if they win this championship, they're all gonna want more money. Everybody's gonna swarm like sharks and try to break this team apart and offer some of these guys more money to come to their teams to fill in those roles that they seen them play in this series and all through this playoff run. So it's going to probably be hard to keep guys like a Andrew Wiggins. It's going to be hard to keep a guy like him. A Lou Dort. It's going to be hard to keep a guy like him. So you're gonna have to definitely keep your main cog of guys, but it's gonna definitely be like where it's gonna be some sharks circling the water, and it happens to every team that wins the finals though. So it ain't nothing new. The Pacers though, the Pacers Miles Turner's contract is up this summer, um, and I think that's it. I think everybody on their team is on the books for like 2 or 3 more years, so their team is intact. Like I like Miles Turner, don't get it twisted, but you could find another big, bro. Like even if they can't re-sign him, you could find another big to fill. And really, honestly, I think Miles Turner. I think they need to go to a more traditional center for their team. Honestly, somebody like a Steven Adams or something. Uh, and I think their team will be better off really because they got they got like four wings at 6'6", or and then they got Pascal Siakam. I don't really think. I know it's a copycat league. Everybody want to play five out in space and basketball, but I think they don't have nobody to really rebound as good as they need to on that team. So I kind of don't mind if they let Miles Turner walk and find somebody that's more of a rebounding machine. So but their team is already intact. Their team gonna be intact for a few more years. So yeah, the answer to the question, yeah, they can definitely keep their teams intact for the most part.
All right, cool, cool, cool. Hopefully, this because I think Miles Turner is this might be his third or fourth contract with them. I think he's been there for at least 8 years. I would think
Yeah, he's been
so.
there for a while.
Yeah, he's been there for a minute, so they might be ready to go ahead and try something new. But if they win it all, then maybe they'll keep him. We'll have to wait and see. Let's switch gears and go over to the WNBA. And Caitlin Clark had a classic performance yesterday. What are her chances of being league MVP?
Man, listen, I ain't even get to see the game, but I sent to the group chat that little crazy little run she had. Man, she different. She is different. Now, MVP, I don't know how they do it in the WNBA really. I don't know. Do they get the fans a little percentage of the votes?
Yeah, I'm not sure how their fan voting is either. So, I mean, how their voting goes either. Let me see if I can look it up real quick.
Yeah, but I mean, it's gonna be hard for her to win MVP just because her team is sitting at 500 right now. You know, but just watching the highlights of that game yesterday, Sabrina Ionescu, she had 34 in the game too. You know what I'm saying? And her team is 9-1. I mean, you feel me? The Fever pulled off that win. That was the Liberty's first loss. But we got to look at Sabrina now. You know what I mean? We got to look at Sabrina.
Yeah, it's not really giving me anything. It's just telling me who won it. Um, I might have to do a better deep dive on it. Can she win it? I mean, there's some other players out there that are really playing really, really well. And then when you look at it, Kelsey Mitchell, man, for them is playing really good basketball too. So you got her out there most times having more points than um, Caitlin Clark. Now I don't know if she has quite the impact in terms of passing the ball and rebounding and whatnot, but Kelsey Mitchell been out there balling, man. She plays really, really well, and so that might take away a little bit from Caitlin Clark. But
Yeah.
I mean,
Shout
I
out to
guess
the
it's always
Buckeye.
yeah,
My
yeah, for
bad.
sure. Shout out to a Buckeye for sure. Um, and so I mean, she definitely has a some kind of a chance because she's really marketable. She's a huge face of the league, so I think she has a chance. Will she win it? I don't think so, but she definitely has a chance for sure.
Hey, and I don't know if you know, man. Are you hip to Nafisa Collier?
I
Nafessa?
heard y'all mention
I
her.
said it
I
wrong.
heard y'all mention her, but I'm not sure who she is.
She used to play for UConn.
Okay.
Man, she averaged like 28 or 27 or something like that. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be that's a tough hill. It's like not even close. She gonna run off with the scoring title this year. It's not even close. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be a tough hill to climb.
Who she play for?
She played for the Minnesota
Minnesota Lynx.
Lynx.
Okay.
Yeah, and they up there in record. They like 9-1 or something like that too. They just had lost like last week, I think.
Yeah, I'm at to check her out. I think I know who you're talking about now since you mentioned Minnesota Lynx. I think I've seen her get somebody the business before.
Yeah, she the truth. You know, Gino always putting he put something in the league almost every year though.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that them 2 years I think that they were not necessarily down, but their players was hurt. Man, I was so glad somebody else was able to get one because he was like beating it up for a minute, right? Can the Indiana Fever make the finals in the end of the season like the Pacers?
Absolutely not. They're not making the
Absolutely.
finals. It's not happening. Hey, they like a year or two away. It's all right though, but it's nah. I just don't see it happening, man. Uh, they got the Liberty in their conference. I mean, I know they just beat them, but the Liberty is the team to beat out there for me.
Okay, okay. Is Brittany Griner the best big ever?
Hey, she coming for Lisa Leslie low key. You know what I'm saying? Cause she been doing it a while too. Uh, I don't know, but like I think she different, man. Ever since that little situation she had overseas, she done lost the step a little bit, but she's still 6'10". You know what I'm saying? It ain't like you just out there stopping her. So uh, uh I don't know. I would probably still lean towards Lisa Leslie. You know, she's the first woman we ever seen dunk in a game, bro. It's just you're not gonna ever get that out of your head. So I don't know. I like Brittany Griner though.
I like Grinder more so from a defensive aspect than an offensive aspect when it comes to Lisa Leslie. But offensively, man, Lisa Leslie was one of those bigs that could could give you numbers offensively, and she played solid defense and rebound well. But Brittany Griner just seems like a different kind of big when it comes to that side of the court because she's 6'10". But I would still get a nod to Lisa Leslie as well. I think her finesse offensively trumps Brittany Griner's skill level as a big. Let's talk a little bit of NFL.
Hey, I had to tell her it's Father's Day. You can't talk to me any way you want to today.
I know that's right. I know that's right for sure. Hey, this is one day. You can't give me the business today. You know what I'm saying? It's on the books. What's the ceiling and the floor on win totals for Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers?
um, I mean, we know who the coach is, Mike Tomlin. You know, But man, I could see that division being real rough this year. Definitely depending on too how this quarterback thing play out in Cleveland. Um, we know, well, we don't know, but we know going into the season that Baltimore is going to be favorites to win that division again. I would say they're maybe their ceiling is 12 wins. I think Baltimore won 12 games last year to win the division. So 12, I could see them win 12. Um, but I don't know. I don't know who I would pick between Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. Like Cincinnati's only problem is that they start season slow. But we know what that offense can do. Ain't nobody gonna stop that offense. So, and I mean, if even if they get a little bit better on defense, do we really think the Steelers is gonna be better than the Bengals? I can't say that, man. So I mean, this listen, y'all know what I said. I told Poe they going 7-10 this year, and Mike Tomlin gonna be out of there. That's my projection for the Steelers. Now they can very much well be better than that because we never seen Mike Tomlin have a losing season. So I just think, man, it sometimes it just catch up to you, bro. I just think they need to change a scenery over there with their coach. So I got them going 7-10 this year.
Yeah, I think their ceiling is 10 games, maybe 11. Um, can they go 3-3 in the division? That's likely because they can possibly get Cleveland twice, but they could possibly lose to Cincinnati and Baltimore twice. So I'm gonna
Yeah,
give them 3-3 in the conference, and then the ceiling probably 10. The floor probably 7 wins. I think they're gonna win at least 7 wins, and then probably no more than 10 or 11 wins in that division and the schedule that they have. I can give them 10, 11 wins as their ceiling.
they
Be
got the
careful on this. Be
they.
careful on this answer, man. Okay, be careful on this answer. All right. What was you gonna say though before I pull it up?
I was saying they got the Patriots, the Vikings, the Jets, Seahawks, um, the Packers, the Colts, the Chargers, the Bears, the Bills, Dolphins, and Lions out of divisional play this year.
Oh, okay. Well, that's manageable.
It
That's
is
man.
manageable.
Yeah, that's manageable for sure. They might get to that 12 that you was talking about. Will the Titans be in the running again for the number one pick in next year's NFL draft? Be careful, man. Be careful.
Man, I gotta say, yeah, man. Cause just because I listen, y'all done drafted offensive line in the first round before this year. Well, I think maybe 2 out of the last 3 years. And some of them dudes ain't coming around like they supposed to. So it just depends on um, the progression of some of them guys on the offensive line for real. I think y'all got enough weapons, but man, it's not like I know we've been seeing a lot of these quarterbacks come in and ball out their first year in the league, but sometimes it don't happen like that too though. You feel me? Look at Bryce Young and Caleb Williams of late. You know, even Bo Nix had a little slow start, but I think their team was way more well rounded last year.
Mhm.
Uh, so I don't think y'all should be in the business of trying to be super good this year. I think y'all should be in the business of just making sure that Cam gets off to the right foot in the NFL, man. That's the most important thing because he's the future for y'all. Um, and it doesn't matter um, if y'all have a well enough season where y'all competing on the level of being close to getting to the playoffs. If you see that growth in Cam from the beginning to the end of the year, and then you go back to the drawing board and you be like, okay, we need this, and this is probably the holes we need to fill, and we feel like we can make a play right now. then that's more of a good path to go down than to just try to rush everything. Because if the league, if the guys in the league see, all right, they got Cam, they got a nice little offense, woo woo woo. We don't expect y'all to have really a top 10 defense either. Then now y'all can go to the free agency and just really get some veterans on that team, because y'all got a young team anyway. You know what I'm saying? So, but that division really is not, it's not super tough. So depending upon how them first 5 or 6 games go, I don't know. I would look at it, and if I could make a push for the playoffs, don't get it twisted, I would. Maybe it might be a trade in middle of the season that y'all way of. You feel me? So, but Houston, the Colts, and the Jaguars. I mean, the only quarterback I really believe in that division is CJ, and that might be a little homerish. You know what I'm saying? But who cares? Like, that division ain't tough. Everybody want to talk about my division. That division is not that hard to win. You know what? Who Houston had 10 wins and won that division last year. So
Hmm. That's definitely the bright side for the Titans is the fact that they're in a conference that's really not all that, so they could possibly win that freaking division. I can
uh,
definitely see them winning 3 games. I mean, two might be their ceiling, but they could possibly get 3 wins and then break even and go 500. I think they're going to be towards the bottom of the NFL again this year. The thing that I'm hoping that is that their defense plays well enough that they can keep Cam Ward in situations where he can continue to grow, because scenarios are going to come up where they need him to go out there and make a play here and there to keep them in games and make a play here and there to win a game to help him grow. So hopefully that'll be how that season goes for the Titans. Even if they do end up getting another number one pick or somewhere in the top five, that'll be great because we still got some pieces and holes that we need to fill. And to be able to do it in the draft and bring some guys along would be great. But I mean, I think we're definitely going to be down at the bottom of the league again this year, though. Yeah. Surprise me, though, Titans. Surprise me, please. Who's your way too early pick to win the Super Bowl?
I'm gonna just give you one from both conferences. Um, I like my Buccaneers, man. I listen. I like us out of the NFC this year. Barn health. I think my defense is gonna be very, very, very solid this year. We was banged up a lot last year. I'm hoping Hassan Reddick can bounce back, kind of have a bounce back year. I like pairing him and Yaya Diaby on the edges. We still got Jamel Dean. Jamel Dean got to stay healthy. Antoine Winfield got to stay healthy. I like what I got in Tyke Smith and Merriweather. Um, you know what I mean? So we got a 3-man safety rotation that I'm very excited for. So we're gonna see, man. Listen, we're gonna see that offense is gonna be humming. I know we lost our OC, but I think we got a whole good setup on offense at every position. Every position, it's not a weakness. I don't feel like on my offense. So I like what I see out of us in the NFC, man. I think we would have had a better record if it wasn't for all the injuries last year. We went 10-7 last year. I think we go 12-5 this year, 13-4. So we'll see. But I mean, we still got Philly out there. You got Washington. You know what I mean. You got Detroit. So we're gonna see how that go. And I expect Atlanta to be better this year too. So um, we'll see. But in the AFC, we know it's a three-team race in the AFC. It's gonna be the Bills, the Ravens, and the Chiefs. It's one of them. You know what I mean? And I can never pick against Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. So I'm gonna say they'll be able to get out of that AFC.
Yeah, that was a good take right there, bro. If your Tampa Bay Buccaneers they stay healthy, yeah, they can make some noise, man. And we seen that they played really well last year, and had all sorts of injuries all throughout their season, offensively and defensively. So that's a really good take. If I had to look in the AFC, hmm, the AFC is I don't want to get this wrong. The AFC is where the Steelers and the Chiefs and all them are in the AFC, right? I don't want to get that wrong.
Nah, the Steelers in the NFC.
NFC, okay, okay, yeah,
No, they're still in the AFC. I'm tripping.
AFC,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay. So as far as the AFC, I agree with you. I think it's going to be those three teams. I think for some reason, man, if Buffalo can get their defense together and they can slow somebody down, man, they could possibly win the freaking AFC and be in there. But I can't go against Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, man. They're going to find a way to get there, bro, for sure. So between them two, I would love to see Lamar Jackson get there, man. But I don't think he's going to get there. I don't think he's gonna get
he
there.
gotta get there eventually,
He
though,
got to,
bro.
man.
He
He got.
got to.
You know how when all of those dudes was playing and Michael Jordan was there and they was all like, shit. Eventually, we got to get there. But guess who was there? Michael
Jordan.
motherfucking Jordan. So they can get there, right?
Jordan.
So they gotta say, damn, Patrick motherfucking Mahomes. We can't get there because of Patrick Mahomes' ass. So that's how I'm looking at it, man. It's gonna be him all day, every day, man. And coming out of the other side, man, I don't think it's going to be the ones who have been there. I don't think it's going to be Philly. I don't think it's going to look at Parlay Poe. I don't think it's going to be Philly. I don't think it's going to be Washington. I think it's going to be somebody else, possibly Detroit again, um, possibly even your Buccaneers. But I don't think it's going to be Philly or Washington. Somebody else I think is going to be there in the end, possibly even in Rams. The Rams could possibly get there, especially if they get healthy enough defensively. He
Hey,
said,
Paul.
luckily I couldn't get on.
Yeah, hey, Paul. You gotta realize something, bro. We beat Philly last year in the regular season before we got all them injuries. You know what I mean? Like, it ain't like we can't play with the top teams in the league, bro. We was banged up last year. We beat them
Yeah,
in like week 3 or something.
all right, all right. Let's see what's next on the slate. I think we're done with the NFL. Let's go talk a little bit of college football before we wrap up the show for today. 8 teams are considered blue bloods: Alabama, Michigan, Nebraska, Notre Dame, Oklahoma, Texas, and USC. What's your thoughts?
For college football,
College football.
man, Ohio State ain't in there.
Oh, you know what? I might. Is that eight? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, Ohio State was the other one. I left them out. My bad, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
I left them out.
hey, you tripping on that.
Yeah, I left them out. I probably did that on purpose too.
Yeah, you did. You definitely did, dog. I know you did. You tried to get under my skin early this morning.
I'm Haran
Uh,
78.
you said what?
I'm Haran 78.
Where Haran at, man? I don't want to deal with him on his Father's Day, man. But nah, that seemed about right. Uh, Nebraska been trash for so long though, so I mean it's almost time to make a new list, right?
You said it's time to make a new list.
It's almost time because I mean we looking at it. Nebraska been trash. Michigan just now be coming back. I mean, woo woo. Uh, Oklahoma been trash. Well, nah, they ain't been trash. I lied. They was nice with Baker. Uh,
I
yeah,
mean,
they
if
was.
we was talking 2 years ago, hell, Texas was trash. 3 years ago, we was trash.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. That's a good list. I'm trying to think of who else we could put in there though.
You think it's because these teams have just been around for so long? They
I mean,
they they date way back to the beginning of time.
we want to say that we got to put Yale in there. You know,
Yeah,
they got the
Yale
most
and
national
Penn,
championships ever.
Rutgers, yeah, and all them guys has been around for a long time.
Yeah, but that's a good list, man. These programs right here, they've been around for a long time, but they've been good consistently too, though. You know what I'm saying? Still to this day,
Yeah.
uh, you see these teams in the thick of things from for forever, like at least since I've been born, except for Nebraska. Nebraska is the only team I wouldn't mind removing this, removing them off of this list because man, what they got all they stuff in what the '60s? It was like the '60s.
Who, Nebraska?
Yeah. It was like the '60s or the '70s.
Oh, they,
That's when
they
they was really good. They ain't been good
70s and
since then.
80s, 70s and 80s.
Come on, man. That's
Or might
almost
have been more 80s, really. Might have been more 80s
that's like before Christ.
before Christ. Anything before uh 2000 and which well no 1994 for you is before Christ.
Really the '90s. Anything before the '90s. It's like, bro, what are we talking about? Well, I like the '80s though. Don't get it twisted. Really, okay. So really, it's like this how I think in my head, bro. In the '70s, in the NBA, I don't really know about the NFL right now, but I know for real about the NBA. How many black players was in the NBA? Like, what was the percentage of black people in the NBA? I would want to know that. Like, come on, man. We can't. You can't base nothing off of. We know who run the basketball and the football side of things. We know what race of men run that side of things. So I can't take some of that stuff serious. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, bro, who you playing against?
Yeah, yeah, I feel you on that. I feel you on that. Poe was saying the Rams of Washington coming out of there on that NFC, and he also said even though Michigan was down, always had NFL players. And Donnell said maybe add Oregon to the Blue Bloods. Notre Dame was listed as a Blue Blood. Maybe add Oregon.
Uh, I remember early in my lifetime. Every time I seen Oregon in the bowl game or later on in the season, they always got smacked. You know what I mean? Like always. Every time they would choke and get smacked. So I don't know about that. Hey, but Poe, Donnell, IB, man, happy Father's Day to y'all, man, for sure. Glad to
Yeah,
see y'all in
happy
here.
Father's Day to y'all as well. What's happening, son? Parlay Poe want to know what is Dylan Rayola's ceiling?
You know what's crazy? I don't even understand why they ain't been talking about Dylan.
He's bum.
Bro, no, he got a Patrick Mahomes little. Hey, he said I just play. He got a little Patrick Mahomes in him too, man. Just like he mimic him. I like guys like that. That's like not afraid to try to like because Kobe did it with MJ. They try to like mimic. He trying to mimic the greatness. You feel me? He even walk like him. If you look at it, if you look at a photo of him, he even try to look like him.
Yeah,
So he want the pressure. I don't think he running from the pressure. I feel like if he would have came to Ohio State, he was committed to us. It would have been less pressure. He trying to bring Nebraska back to the heyday. You feel me? I feel like he run to the pressure. So I think he could be a stud, bro. And if you look at a lot of the quarterbacks in the NFL for real, a lot of them really came from like not really blue blood programs. Like the best ones, they ain't come from blue bloods. They came from smaller schools.
yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. Happy Father's Day from Allende. Happy Father's Day from Don B. Happy Father's Day to y'all as well. We appreciate that. The ceiling for Dylan Rayola. I kind of wish Dylan Rayola would have went to a better team with better quality wide receivers. He's at Nebraska where they're not going to get the players that he's really going to need to help him excel as a quarterback. They're going to be able to win some games because they're going to play really good defense over there. But I really wish he would have went to a better situation, man, to see what his ceiling really could be. I don't think it's going to be really high at um, Nebraska. If I was him after this season, this will be his sophomore year, I believe.
Yeah.
I would. I'm telling you right now what's going to happen though.
What?
Somebody going to definitely back up the Brinks truck to him and say, "Listen, get your butt in the portal and come on over here and get this money where we got all this talent waiting on you." Somebody going to reach out to his agent and say, "Listen, come on, man, come on." And he's going to probably want to improve his NFL stock going into his uh, NFL year, which will be after this following season. I think for sure he's going to have to get out of there, man. Unless Nebraska can get some guys around him. Nebraska should really be focusing on some of these kids from the group of six teams who are really, really good wide receivers who they know they can develop and help out Dylan Raiola. If they don't do that, man, he's going to probably bounce because that
See,
Brinks truck is going to be waiting on him.
see, I don't know, bro, because his family is tied to that program. That's why he chose him over us in the first place. And I think it's different with a quarterback. You just got to have great tape. You know what I mean? They don't care if you know what I mean, you out there making mistakes a little bit or woo. They think they can coach that out of you. You just gotta have great tape. They want to see you anticipate. They want to see your mechanics on tape, and they want to see you make pretty solid decisions. They want to see you be able to make most of the throws. So I don't think he gonna leave. I don't think he gonna leave at all for real. It's like if he ain't want to be there for real, he would have never went there. In my opinion, he would have just stayed committed to Ohio State for real. But we never know though, because that money do talk. That money do talk, dog.
Yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure. I'm trying to work my phone and this at the same time.
Oh, we right here. Oh, okay.
Okay. What team could have the biggest win in the first 3 weeks of the season? I didn't know if you covered that yesterday or not.
Man, I think I forgot to go back to it. I think Heron threw me off of my game a little bit, man. But I'm gonna have to say, so that Florida and LSU game is big. Um, I think that could swing either one of their seasons, and up to that point, that could be the biggest win. Um, and really, Florida's schedule is so tough, man. They absolutely really need to win that game for real. Um, and we know the Ohio State Texas game is game one. That could have super huge implications on the playoffs. Just jumping out of the gate, you know what I'm saying? So them are two of the games in week 1 through 3 that I already got highlighted. But we already know it's a bunch of big games, bro. It's like a bunch of big games, and we're not gonna know uh, what the biggest win is until the end of the season come more around. But them are the two games I'm highlighted already.
I think I'm gonna go in another direction, man, and look at teams that we're not 100% sure what they're gonna look like this year. I'm gonna go with the winner of the Florida State Alabama game as a possible game that will probably be one of the biggest wins of the season, or the first 3 weeks rather. And then the winner of Oklahoma and Michigan. I think both of those teams will really get to see what they got on deck in that game, because that's going to be a game that's going to be challenging for both of those teams, because both of them are going to have some really really good defenses out there, which is going to force that offense to do something different, I think, or to do something that they normally wasn't planning on having to do. So I'm looking at those two games: the Michigan Oklahoma winner and the Florida State and Alabama winner.
Yeah, let me throw one game in there with you because I like where your thought process was going. I gotta throw in week 2 that Illinois and Duke matchup because Duke is my sleeper in the ACC, and Illinois got that buttercup schedule that they could probably push through and hopefully get a playoff berth. So I like that game to make a lot of difference when it comes to the college football playoff too, especially if Duke can pull off a couple upsets in that ACC this year.
Okay, okay. This is the last question that I had in the docket. But everybody in the chat, if you got any questions out there on anything sports related, throw it out there. Or they ain't got to be sports related. Maybe you want us to talk about something else for a change. Put it in the chat real quick while we tackle this last question. Is there a player who doesn't play quarterback with a chance to win the Heisman?
Yeah, I'm gonna just start with the obvious. Y'all know my boy Smitty from O Block. Uh, yeah, Smitty from O Block. He gonna be on that list to start the season. I think he still be around there humming around there around the end of the year. Um, but to throw a curveball at y'all, I got another name, Nate Frazier, Georgia. Now, if Georgia is a playoff team, um, maybe a top 17 in the country, I think it's gonna have a lot to do with Nate Frazier, the running back out of Georgia. I liked him last year. I seen him game one when Trevor Etienne was out, or might have been game two or something. Who did they play? I forget who they played. It might have been Bama or somebody. But Trevor Etienne was suspended, and I seen this freshman come in, and he was balling. I think they're gonna have to lean on him heavy early in the year until Gunner Stockton get his feet on the ground and get the running. So I like Nate Frazier to have a big year.
Yeah, he's at a program that's what they want to do. They want to run the ball. Now they do run a two back system, but their second back don't get carries. They don't divide them carries between them two.
Right.
That starting guy is going to get he gonna get 20 to 25 carries a game, or touches I should say, a game. So he's going to have a chance to really put up some numbers, and really help that offense go, especially early in the season, before Stockton can get up to speed. Um, I like both. I like both of those picks, man. I don't between Ryan Williams and Jeremiah Smith. Them the two that came to my mind that could possibly be in the Heisman running. That's not a quarterback. Um, Yeah, that's about it. I don't think there's going to be any other running backs that's going to get enough carries or is going to be in a program that's going to warrant enough attention to even be able to get there. So, yeah. Paulie Poe said, no chance. Quarterback is winning the Heisman. Yeah, you probably right. You probably right. That's
Yeah.
probably going to get on out.
Hey, Paul, I was just answering the question, dog.
Yeah. He also said Georgia Tech as a sleeper in the ACC. What's your thoughts on Georgia Tech being a sleeper in the ACC? Could they be one of those teams that throughout this season can knock off some ACC giants and really mess up that thing in the ACC?
Yeah, I don't think Georgia Tech is a sleeper. I think people know about Georgia Tech. Haynes King and Jamal Haynes, that duo is back from last year. Now they lost their receiver, their best receiver in the portal, but I think they got guys on that roster that's going to be able to step it up a notch. So I don't think Georgia Tech is slept on at all. Like people know when they play Georgia Tech that they're going to have to deal with them this year.
Let's take a look at Georgia Tech's schedule real quick and just tell me what your thoughts are. They open up with Colorado in Colorado. Is that a winnable game for them?
They're winning that game.
And then they face Gardner Webb. That sounds like a person instead of a school.
You
So
can
of course
skip that.
they get that one. Now they open
You
up with Colorado, and then in week 3 they get Clemson at home.
now
Though they got them in Georgia Tech.
Yeah, now that we was speaking about this game. That's a tricky game because if they win that game, they are on a straight path to win the conference. But we don't know if they're gonna win that game. But this the thing too, though. Clemson gonna already have played LSU, so we don't. You know what I mean? It's a lot of variables, bro. That's gonna play out. Clemson gonna already have played LSU. Then I think they got a cupcake, and then they turn around and go to Georgia Tech. But it's a win. That's. I mean, they're not gonna be favored in that game, but I think that's a winnable game.
Yeah. Then after Clemson, they get two easy ones: Temple and Wake Forest. Well, maybe Wake Forest can give them a little fight because it's in Wake, but I doubt it. Then they get Virginia Tech at home.
And
Is that
Virginia Tech is my second sleeper team in the ACC. So I mean that's a winnable game, but that's also a losable game too. You know what I'm saying?
and then they get your Duke team that you think can make some noise if they can get on the right track.
Where is it at?
It's in North Carolina. It's in Duke.
Oh, so that's a tough game. You know, I think they'd be favored it going into that game, but I don't know. I'll probably pick Duke in that game for real.
Yeah. Then they get Syracuse. Then NC State at home. What about those two?
See, I don't know about what Syracuse got going on. I need to do some little research on them and NC State too, because they just lost Tyler Shuck. But we got to see what they. But you know, NC State notoriously is always just decent. You know what I'm saying? They don't never really throw out a bad product out there. I'm not saying it's a great product, but it's not never bad. You know what I'm saying? So I expect NC State to be another decent team again this year. So I'm not gonna just say that's like they should be favored to win that game, but I'm not just gonna say that they just gonna win that game though. You know, they could lose that game on the road.
Then they get Boston College on the road. Then they get Pitt at home, and they finish with Georgia at home.
Well, the Georgia game doesn't matter. That has nothing to do with the ACC race. You see what I'm saying? You can lose some of these non-conference games sometimes. Uh, but that Pittsburgh game, if that black quarterback we seen played that played in that bowl game, you feel me?
Yeah,
Last year, if he in that game, that can be a tricky game, especially if they can have a solid enough defense like they did last year. That game could get tricky.
yeah. I mean, Georgia Tech, they it's not an easy schedule. They got some winnable games on there, but then they got a couple dog fights too that's gonna be on their
Yeah,
hands. So
and you
hopefully they
know,
can come out of that thing with at least 9 wins, though.
and you know why I like their chances in dog fights because I seen Haynes King play his heart out in that Georgia game last year, and I was like, he a dog. He left everything on the field.
I mean, and they got a style of play that's very tough for you to defend too, man. I mean, whenever they can run the football the way they do, it looks like a simple system, but it's not easy to because you can't afford to just go and put eight in the box and think you're
Right.
just gonna stop the run on them. So they can control the clock and they can be in games that way. So they could definitely upset some folks and be the sleeper that Parlay Poe was saying. But I don't think they're gonna sneak up on anybody. I think they got everybody's attention for sure.
Yeah, you know, I feel like if they would have kept Eric Singleton though, bro, we probably be talking about them as a top 15, 20 team for real. Like I don't think people are gonna have them highly ranked coming into the year. But if Eric Singleton would have stayed there, they would have for sure been a top 15, 20 team for sure.
Yeah, it was gonna be hard for them to keep him because he need to go somewhere where they can throw that football because he's trying to get to that league too.
I, I mean, I thought they was giving him the rock for real. From when I was watching, I thought they was. He going to Auburn though. I think he wanted to play on a higher level for real to prove it.
Yeah. Well, that's all I have for today, bro. What time are y'all gonna do that other show today? Are y'all gonna do that?
I don't know. Post said if it ain't early, we ain't going. So I probably won't get around to it today.
Oh, okay. Are you off?
Yeah. Man, I'm off the next 2 days. You hear me? Yeah, we about to live life a little bit.
Yeah, life a little bit. All right. Well, that's all I had. Hopefully, if y'all get a chance to do that show later on this morning, we can put it out there so the people can tune in to that show because it's a really really good show that I think that y'all got designed for the people to see. So if y'all put it together, let me know so that way I can do anything I can do to help uh,
Yeah.
get it going.
Well, even if we don't do that show, it should be another show going on today, regardless. So we're supposed to be getting on here and breaking down the bag talk between LeBron and Kobe.
Oh, what's going on with that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna hit Moss JoJo up, but if not, I might get on here and do it alone for real. We gotta,
Oh,
we gotta, we gotta compare these bags because I gotta show y'all what I mean about LeBron James ain't got a bag. He don't got no bag. He the leading scorer all time with no bag.
yeah, he doesn't have a bag, man. Well, he can put the ball in the hole, but he ain't got no real moves. No, man, come on. Not in comparison to people like Kobe and guys like that. We already know that. All right, y'all. Well, we appreciate everybody joining in with us, man. We want to thank our sponsor, Super Cat Nano 2820, for the music that he produces for us and for what he does on YouTube. Go check him out. That's Super Cat Nano, cat spelled with a K, Nano spelled Nayno. And also KT's Good Eats LLC, a wonderful food catering business ran by my man Kevin Bird and his wife Tammy. Please check them out on Instagram at Kevin J. Bird. That's Bird spelled Byrd. And his sister owns a social nutrition, sips and conversation, good sips and conversation over at 3136 South Hamilton Road, where you can get you a nutritious shake and you can also get you an energy tea and some other products that she have as meal supplements so that you're not eating all that bad food out there in this world. Also, we got our young man, the Chief, 5991. You can get some nice authentic apparel from him. You can check him out on TikTok and on Instagram at the Chief. That's DECHIEF .5991. Check them out. Peace to everybody. Happy Father's Day. And we appreciate y'all tuning in. Share, like, subscribe. Peace.
Peace.
There we go.